Welcome back to the Beauty Lab podcast. I'm Velia, and this is my co-host, Monina.
Hello.
And today, we are going to be talking about skin cycling. And when Monina said, Velia, I want to talk about skin cycling, I was like, what is skin cycling? And she said, don't worry, you're going to love it. It's all about exfoliation. And I, like a queen, is like, go on. Welcome to the Beauty Lab podcast, your drive time resource for all things beauty, health, and wellness. We're your hosts and favorite beauty nerds, Monina and Velia.
Join us as we debunk myths, explore the latest trends, and dive deep into the science behind your favorite products. We'll interview industry experts and answer your burning beauty questions in 30 minutes or less.
So you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. So for someone like me who has never heard of skin cycling, can you explain exactly what that is?
Sure. So for those of you who've probably heard about this on TikTok, I'm kind of seeing it all over, but on TikTok for sure. But basically it's a 4-night skincare routine.
4-night?
Yes.
Okay.
4-night skincare routine.
Okay.
Using products that you're going to basically be rotating around. So what it looks like is night 1, you're going to exfoliate, which I know you love.
All right. I like night 1 already.
Night 1 is all about exfoliation. So you're going to cleanse your face, but you're focusing on exfoliating the skin. So you're going to exfoliate with AHAs or BHAs to remind you, those are like alpha hydroxy acid, beta hydroxy acids. Most likely you've heard of glycolics or salicylic acid. So that's what we're talking about. Okay. So that's night 1. Night 2 is all about retinols and retinoids. So then you're not going to exfoliate, but now you're going to incorporate your retinols and your retinoids. On night 3 and 4, no more exfoliators, no more retinols. It's all about increasing and adding hydration to your skin. So then that's when you're going to hydrate, you're going to repair the barrier, and then you're going to repeat this every 4 days. So what it's basically doing is you're allowing active ingredients to go into the skin on a regular basis without overwhelming the skin.
Oh.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what the 4-night routine looks like. Exfoliate, retinols, recovery for 2 more days. And then you start all over again.
Okay, that sounds pretty easy. So where did this come from?
You know, it's so funny that you asked me that, because in another episode we talked about another TikTok that went viral. Remember, called the caveman?
Oh, so this is like a TikTok
It's a
trend.
TikTok, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. But actually, I don't even want to say it's a TikTok trend. It's just now on TikTok. But
okay.
I heard about skin cycling probably a year ago. And because I read a lot of different publications, and that's when I first heard about it, and it totally made sense to me, and then I totally forgot about it. And then now I saw it again. Now I'm seeing it like the average person. I feel like once it gets to TikTok, it's like the average person now is hearing about it.
Okay.
So yes, as far as where it started, I believe when I was reading it, they were all out of like skincare publications, like Skin Inc., dermatologists, and things like that. So that's kind of where it started.
Okay. So how did it become this like TikTok trend?
Again, I think because it's such an easy thing to follow.
Okay.
So with the caveman, remember we talked about the
Yes.
caveman? It was like simplicity at its finest. So if you
doesn't get more simple than the caveman.
Yeah, it was like, if you didn't listen to it yet, it's basically this gal didn't do anything. She didn't even put like water on her skin. Well, anyways, that's in another episode.
Yeah, we'll link that episode in the show notes.
But I think why it's going viral on TikTok is because TikTok is social media. It's all about like people sharing before and afters. And I think that kind of goes viral. And with the before and afters, you can really see this transformation, and skin cycling definitely delivers, because you definitely see a change in the texture of the skin. So it's really easy to show people that this is a way to transform the skin very easily. And also, so many things are overcomplicated now. I even see 12, 13, 14-year-olds wanting to do retinols and stuff like that, right? We're so inundated with all of these tips and trends and tricks and stuff like that. And it kind of worries me, because what you're doing is you're overusing these active ingredients, and when your skin is like 12 or 14, you don't need things like that yet.
No.
But anyways, to answer your question, I think that's why it's going viral, because you do see a big difference, a transformation on someone's skin after doing the skin cycling for a couple of nights.
Okay.
You do see a difference, yeah.
Cool. I can't wait to try it.
I know. It's good. It's an easy way to introduce a lot of things into your regular routine, but it's so minimal. And so I think that's why it's catching steam, because we're kind of simplifying your routine, but adding something that's actually going to benefit and make a difference in the skin.
Okay. So what are some of the key benefits?
Okay, so the biggest benefit is you're reducing irritation, because when you overuse exfoliants and retinols, you can actually damage the skin's barrier. So we're always trying to bring the skin barrier in balance and strengthen in the barrier. But when you over exfoliate and you overuse retinols, you actually can thin the skin down. And this can lead to increased inflammation, redness. We see peeling happening. Breakouts can start to happen as well. And so when you're rotating the exfoliant retinol night to a recovery night, giving time for your skin to recover, you're actually strengthening the barrier.
Okay.
And you're getting long-term benefit results from it. I kind of liken it to like when you work out, right? You have to break down the muscle for it to strengthen and get stronger. So think of this skin cycling as kind of like a workout for the skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
So what happens to your skin during that recovery period?
Okay, so this is why night 3 and 4 is so important, because during your skin recovery, you're actually supporting your skin's natural repair process, kind of like what we just talked about. So you're breaking it down to strengthen it. And during the recovery night, you're focusing on hydration. So you're focusing on your moisturizers, your ceramides, your humectants, so things like hyaluronic acid is super important on day 3 and 4, because now what you're doing is you're locking in that hydration into the skin, and when you do that, you're going to actually see inflammation go down. You're rebuilding the micro damage that was caused by all the active ingredients from the retinols and the exfoliants, and you basically are repairing and then glowing. So yeah, it's very beneficial, I think, for anybody, because you do see that transformation, and you're kind of introducing things at a slower pace, I think, when you do it that way.
Okay. So it is kind of like recovering from working out too, like hydrating and
exactly, right?
Yeah. Okay. So would you recommend this to like a beginner?
Yeah, when you say beginner, I'm talking about people who can benefit from exfoliants and retinols. So we're not talking about like the younger population that you may not really
Yes,
need
not
this.
beginner meaning adolescent.
Yes.
Not a beginner at life. A beginner at maybe all you've done so far is like wash and tone and moisturize, which is like the 3 like most
Your foundation
steps, right?
Exactly.
So if you want to bump it up and you want to see a little bit of a difference, like you're saying, the before and afters are impressive.
Right.
So those people,
Yes.
who are adult,
Those are beginners, yes. So someone who maybe wants to kick it up a notch, definitely excellent for beginners, because you're teaching how to use and introduce powerful ingredients in a safe way. So then it's great for sensitive skin, or if you have a compromised barrier and you've been afraid to introduce maybe exfoliants and retinols. Because I know people with sensitive skin, they can turn red and irritated when they use retinols for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's why you always have to look at the percentage of the retinols too. So with the skin cycling, I highly recommend that you talk to a professional and figure out, okay, what percentage retinol should I be using? What type of exfoliant should I be using? Should I be starting with a mechanical exfoliant or a chemical exfoliant? So first get some guidelines. Don't just like jump into this blindly, because you can get good benefits, but I also don't want you to overuse the wrong products at the same time. So yes, this is a great way for people who want to bump up their skin routine up a notch. You can also customize it. So let's say people who have drier skin, or maybe you're more mature, or you have much more thinner skin, and retinols maybe just you've never had any good results from it because you just get so irritated. So you can customize your cycle, meaning you can actually increase your recovery nights. So maybe instead of 2 nights, you go 3 or 4 nights of recovery and then start all over again. So yeah, for beginners, this is great because you can definitely customize it and kind of play around with it to see like what combinations and how long your recovery days should be, things like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have a couple more questions for you, but if you're still listening or watching, please hit that subscribe button, share this episode with somebody who might be wanting to take their skincare regimen up a notch without going too crazy or too expensive. And download these episodes. It really helps our show, and we appreciate it so, so much. Okay, so what are some of the common mistakes that people should be aware of or like don't, to prevent them from making when they want to start this skin cycling?
I kind of brought one up already, is using the wrong maybe strength, or like introducing a product that's too strong or too high of a percentage in the retinols, because then that could be over irritating from the get-go. So that's the first mistake. Second mistake is skipping your recovery night or not using enough moisturizers or humectants. Again, not using the right type of moisturizers for your skin type. So that's why I really highly recommend you talk to a professional before taking this on as your next endeavor in your skincare routine. And then the last one that's really a big mistake and can cause issues like pigmentation is not wearing your sunscreen, especially the day after your exfoliant and retinol night. So that's night 1 and 2. On day 3 and 4, you definitely do not want to skip your sunscreen on those following days.
Okay, so just quickly, can you run through the days and what you're supposed to do on these days again? So day 1 is?
So day 1 is your exfoliating night. So that's where you're going to be including your alpha hydroxys, your beta hydroxys, even your enzymes. Like you can even use enzymes as your exfoliator. So your mechanical or chemical exfoliants. On night 2, no more exfoliants, but now you're including your retinols or your retinoids. Okay. If you have some other types of issues, and maybe your doctor has a prescription for like a tretinoin or another type of retinol, or if you have retinaldehyde, which is another form of retinols, you can use it on that night as well. So that's night 2. On night 3 and 4 is all about your recovery. So you're not going to do exfoliants, you're not going to do the retinols. It's all hydration, your humectants, your moisturizers, your hyaluronic acid, things like that.
So do you have like recommendations then for products that you would recommend to try during this? I know that you said that, and it does sound like you should consult a skincare professional before doing this, even if it's just someone you know and who maybe knows your skin a little bit, to kind of guide you a little. But also the product recommendations I want to hear. But before you get into that, I wanted to ask you what you should expect during this. Like, should you expect a little bit of peeling?
It's a good question. Again, that's why I think it's really important you're doing this with a professional guiding you. Because you can, depending on the percentage of the retinols or the type of exfoliant you're using, and you're very sensitive and maybe you've never done exfoliants, you can experience a little bit of maybe some peeling, and because what you're doing is you're increasing that cellular turnover. Right? And so you're exfoliating and getting rid of dead skin. That's why there's such a transformation, because you're actually dealing with the texture of the skin, right? So yes, to answer your question, if you have really sensitive skin or on the drier side, you can experience a little bit of peeling, maybe a little bit of redness, but it's okay. Like, hang in there, and then definitely the recovery nights. The recovery night, you may want to do like 3 nights of recovery night if you're really experiencing some irritation.
Cool.
Good question.
So go ahead with your recommendations.
So the recommendations, what I'll do is, and I always like to include like over-the-counter things that are maybe more drugstore products, and then also the types of recommendations that maybe you can only get from a professional, like a dermatologist or med spa or an esthetician. So what I'd like to do is, because there's quite a few,
Okay.
instead of just rambling them off, why don't I just go ahead and we'll add it to the show notes.
Perfect.
And it'll just be a simple link, and then that'll get emailed to you.
Awesome. Wow, you
yeah.
couldn't have made that any easier.
Yeah, easy peasy.
So 4 steps and a whole list of what to try. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Just that if you are looking to do this, and if you are in the Bay Area, I'm more than happy to do a consultation for you. I can even do a Zoom consultation if you aren't in the Bay Area. For those of you who maybe don't have access to an esthetician or dermatologist, I'm happy to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you just keep making this easier and easier. No excuses now. I'm going to try it. I'm going to get all of my stuff together. You say exfoliation, and I'm like, yes, tell me where to go.
As long as you don't show up all red and pink
Right.
the next time we get together.
I know, my skin is blistered. I'm like, it worked great. Perfect.
This is why you need a guided professional
Yeah.
telling you what to do.
That's you, though. All right. Well, thank you, Monina. That was really fun. And I'm excited to try this.
Yeah.
Thank you again for listening and for watching. And I'm Velia.
I'm Monina.
And until next time, keep experimenting with your beauty routine. Okay, I am recording. All right. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Bangs okay.
Yeah, your bangs are good.
All right.
Okay, big smiles. I, like a queen, is like, go on. It worked great. It's perfect.